Kevin Liles here. Syph, we always start like this on Juan Epstein. First of all, you should subscribe on iTunes.
Yes.
First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Thank you.
And you should subscribe on iTunes to the Juan Epstein podcast. And you should buy your Juan Epstein t-shirts, which Syph are doing tremendously well.
Listen, we have sold an enormous amount of t-shirts
the
for the amount of t-shirts we thought we would sell.
Yeah, no, and the amount of work we put in, which is zero. It's going pretty well. So you can go to rosenbergradio.merchdirect.com and you can order your...
right, and I also have the Cypher Sounds one now, too.
I looked, though. Is it up? I didn't see yours working yet.
Yeah, it's up.
Okay, or
It's
Syph...
been working. You see the hate?
No, I tried. I tried today. I wanted to make sure. Syphasounds.merchdirect.com as well. Now, Syph, where does your story with Kevin Liles begin? The first thing you remember of Kevin Liles. I'm guessing a fat Kevin Liles.
Yeah, Fat Kevin Liles.
Definitely.
Where's the...
I don't know the exact genesis, but it had to be... oh, man, I forgot his name.
Ooh.
Who's the promotion guy? The tall black guy.
Wes
Skinny.
Johnson? Thomas Littell?
No. I used to work at Def Jam. Now works...
Mike Kaiser?
Kaiser.
Oh, geez.
I love
it.
No.
Definitely before that.
By the way, I couldn't respect anything more than you forgetting Kaiser's name. He deserves that. He deserves a good forgetting every once in a while.
I love
he would call him a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kaiser used to come up here. This is when I was first with Flex. I feel like you have something like directly involved with the Month of the Man campaign.
Yeah.
Well,
of course.
I think that's where like something with the Red and Meth double vinyl.
The cassette, the
was
cassette
a
single,
cassette-
A-side, B-side.
Yeah, yes.
So
Method Man first signing to Def Jam, Redman already being there, sticking them together, Month of the Man.
is that true? Is that one of the first things you did at Def Jam?
No, that I remember.
No,
You remember.
that he would probably remember.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I don't want credit. I just want to do the work. I want to build legacy. And when I'm not here,
But how do you build a legacy without the credit?
because you talk about it. When I'm gone. You talk about it. Legacy becomes. You don't realize how great Martin Luther King was, or how great Mandela was, or how great Abraham Lincoln was as a president, because they interact. When you act as an angel, people don't see you as an angel. They don't see you as
After?
And what happens is a funny thing. In Baltimore, I have a street named after me.
Where is the street named after you?
Where I grew up.
Where I'm from Maryland. I'm from
Pressman Street,
right near what? Like how?
North Avenue.
Give me in relation, since I'm white and from D.C.
Okay.
In relation to Camden Yards,
Okay, in relation to Camden Yards.
which is why Syph. That's the only reason.
Okay, 20 minutes from Camden Yards, more on the west side.
Okay, on the west side of
On
Baltimore.
the west side of Baltimore, North Avenue, and the iconic place is Enid Pratt Library.
Okay.
that
And what's
people know.
what's the street called?
Kevin Liles Drive.
Wow.
It used to be called Pressman Street, but my grandmother, my family still lives there. But the reality of it was, the president of the city council and the mayor at that time said, "Why wouldn't we do something while you're here?" And it became a symbol of hope for that next kid that's on the street corner. He wants to ask, how can I get a street named after me? Well, if you look how you get a street named after you, have to look at the legacy that I kind of provided, and they did it while I'm here. So I challenge people every day is don't think about things when people are gone. Really realize the angels that are here every single day. And I buried my mentor, Wes Johnson, Wes Party Johnson. He's the guy who taught me promotion 2 weeks ago.
Oh, sorry.
And to sit and see the things that we're doing and see what he did in his life.
Where did he do promo?
Started in Baltimore. He was on radio. He was the guy that everybody told, we play more music and no rap. And he said, fuck that. You're going to play rap music. Then we gave you a mix show.
But that was the saying of the radio station?
Yeah,
We play more music,
Y'all,
no
you
rap.
guys are young, so you guys don't. They said we play more music and no rap. That was every radio
Damn.
station. And now
That's what Black Radio was saying.
That's what Black Radio was saying. And
Telling the adults, don't worry, we don't want to play the bullshit your kids want
We're not playing none of that. We play more music and no rap. And now stations say we're the station for hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
No, let's be clear. Your buddies down the street at Power 105 say R&B and only the best hip hop. So they're still doing it. Just to be clear, there are people who still don't want to fully claim hip hop.
Listen,
Clear channel. But go ahead.
Listen, at the end of the day, people will always challenge our culture. We have to be great soldiers. We have to be great leaders. We have to know when to pull our pants up a little bit. We have to know when to put on suit jackets.
Absolutely.
We have to know when that has become a business, not just a street art. So at the end of the day, I take on the challenges because prior to us, similar to civil rights, similar to the plight of your people, the plight of Jewish
Douchebags? Oh, Jew.
No, Saif, I'm in multiple categories.
I didn't know there was a
Jewish and douchebag.
I thought it was like
The plight of douchebag is a different story. No, it's a different story.
We all have struggles, and even the plight of raising enough capital to have your own beverage company, raise enough capital to start a content company, 300 that Leo and Todd and I have started around a new entertainment model.
And who?
Leo Cohen and Todd Moskowitz.
Oh, and you. I
And
started
that's-
300.
Let me tell you, Kevin Liles in with the Jews on a different level. The Jews love Liles.
So, you know what's better than having one Jewish partner?
Two, I know. You need to up
Two
your
Jew.
You need to up your Jew game. So,
I love my my family.
so real quick, so let's start. Where does the Kevin Liles music story begin? In Baltimore, I'm guessing.
In Baltimore, I used to DJ. It was we had a group called the New Marks. The New Marks we used to do. We
But
started.
do you know what he wrote, right?
What he wrote, I forget. I know it's something massive,
Okay.
but we'll get there, right?
We're gonna get there.
But I forget.
It's pretty soon.
It's early, right?
it's very early.
I know it's something crazy, but I forget. All right.
So
You were the DJ for the New Marks?
no, we all DJ'd.
Oh, you were all DJs.
Yeah, so we used to have a radio show on WEBB back at that time, a long time ago, and we
What was your
started
DJ name?
Come on.
KG, Crime Genius, they called me.
With a K, though.
K, with a
Crime
K.
Genius with a K. So
Crime
you know it's
Genius.
real.
Right. So we used to DJ 10 turntables, and then we started making records.
Sorry.
10 turntables.
What do you mean 10 turntables?
It was 5 DJs.
So it's 5 DJ crew, and
5
y'all would come
DJ
out with
crew.
10 turntables?
10 turntables.
That is an elaborate
We,
setup.
we were the ultimate DJ battle team.
Wow, I'll say. And the ultimate sound man's nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. But we battled all across the states and the Mid Atlantic.
What mixture were you using back then?
New Marks.
Just
The group was called New Marks.
and it was
We
the
used New
beginning.
Mark.
And it was the beginning. It had to be
The
early.
beginning, the PS4s, I think, PS12, whatever they were called back then.
Wow. Okay.
So,
That's crazy.
So then we started rapping, and myself and a guy named Rod became the rappers, and we did an album, and on that album was a record called Girl, You Know It's True. And this was back in
There it was.
in
And there it was.
86, and somebody stole the record, and I was, 17. I had to sue and get my rights back, and, Middle of Italy sold 18 million copies of a record that I sold 100,000 copies of.
100,000 ain't bad.
That 100,000 ain't. How'd you guys sell 100,000?
We were signed to a independent company that stole our rights, but eventually had to give them back, and they had distribution throughout the Mid-Atlantic.
And it started getting play on like ERQ and
Started getting play on, back then it was V103.
Oh, V103.
Back then. And
did DC show love too?
DC showed love. Wes Johnson, my mentor, actually played my record, and it was one of the ways.
What station was he on?
At then it was on another radio station in WOL or something like this.
Oh, he in DC?
in DC, yeah.
Oh, he was on 1450.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Yeah, WOL back in the day.
Back in the day, and then
That's where Conan eventually was. I'm sure you know Conan.
know him very well. I was just with him. And eventually it turned into a big thing for us. I toured. I actually, the funny story is, before working for Def Jam, I opened up for LL Cool J. I opened up for Run DMC as an artist.
Wow.
And we had a club called 4604. People started shooting outside. And LL and I said, LL, we not worried about none of that. He said, Kev, I'm from Queens. You from Baltimore. It's all good. There's no issue.
So you remember? So you met those guys back? You met Russell back then too, or no?
Absolutely. I knew everybody when I was 17, and this is why, full circle, when it kind of, I remember I gave when Run became a minister, I gave Run a Bible. I remember that this perfect moment. I was taking him around promotions, went down with the Kings, and I was taking him around in promotion, and I gave him a Bible. He said, Kev, you losing the gold ropes too? I said, no, I'm not losing the gold ropes. So we came up, but I wanted to let you know that in replace of what I saw you and I came up with you on, I want to give you a Bible because I'm a spiritual person too. So I've been there from, like I said, 16. It's 30 years.
Did you get your money back from Girl You Know It's True?
Sued. Got everything.
How much did you get for that? You got a lot. Like, are you still sitting on some Girl You Know It's True
Well,
money?
I still get royalty checks. I can
Who
just say that.
Who the fuck plays that record, yo? Who's
All
playing
around
that
the
record?
world.
Every time I'm out.
All around the
plays.
world. All around the world.
People
Still,
play it
to this day.
ironically.
To this
ironic.
day. To this day, I'm telling you guys, I still get royalty checks from Girl You Know.
What was your last royalty check?
How much was it?
Yeah.
$2,400.
That's
Oh,
not bad.
man.
That's not bad.
My
How
last,
much was yours?
My last Nina Sky
Yeah,
check was
move your body. How was that one? 48 cents?
No, about $480.
That's not bad.
I
I'll
know,
take that too.
Guys,
It
it's a
comes
bill.
out of nowhere.
It's a bill.
You guys jacked that rhythm though, right?
We interpreted
Interpreted.
it.
but there's a real rhythm that people
there's
actually.
there's six writers when it comes to that song.
Because at the PR Day parade the other day, a float came by playing that beat,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "That's Cypher's beat." And I'm like, "That's not Cypher's."
Oh no, the reggae rhythm.
It's just the
yeah, that was a reggae track.
Okay, so you eventually get that money.
Wait, so
back.
but I'm sorry, you didn't write the song for them. Someone jacked you.
No, I actually did the song. There's a version, if you take a look, there's a version that Newmarks did that I rapped the whole record.
No, I know, but you didn't write it for Milli Vanilli.
No, they stole it.
No, I put the record out. It was a Newmarks record.
So it was out there.
So they literally stole everything.
Was it the same label you were signed to,
No.
or another label? How could they just jack it?
Well, they asked my label. Well, I
Oh.
signed my rights over
I
to my
see.
label. And
They
you know,
bought it from your label.
and they bought
that
the
jerked
song.
you.
And you can remake any song as long as you clear the rights.
Yeah.
So they played the rights. We were in Germany, Australia, Switzerland, and London. And
Wow.
we
Studio Records?
Studio Records.
This isn't the highest quality. I apologize. You have the 12-inch?
A guy, a guy named Bill Petaway.
Who's that?
Honestly, no, it's me. What are you talking about?
Yo, you sound like them. The record's not that different.
No, all they did was added a break beat under it, and we have a version like that also. So it was they just jacked it, and it's cool. You know, I think at that moment I realized that somebody could do a song better than me, so they should do the song. You know, you got to know to play your position too.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't obviously meant to be an artist. I was obviously meant to be behind the scenes and be in the business of music, not just the music business.
So then what happens for you after that?
Well, I actually did 5 or 6 records after that.
With the Newmarks?
Yes, with the Newmarks.
Okay.
And I wrote a Baltimore anthem called North Avenue that we did back then. And then I started to put out my own records. And that's when I started to think about the business of music and wanted to know how to distribute your own product. Back in the day it was called consignment,
Mm-hmm.
you know, back then. And, started to learn the business side of it and said, was in school for engineering at Morgan State with Nassau, and said, let me take my business acumen, let me take the way I look at things and put it into the music business.
Where'd you get that business sense from? Parents or?
A lot of it probably came from my parents, but and this is what I tell young kids: when I was in high school, I really was high, and not high in the sense of drugs, but high in the sense of life. I felt like everything was supposed to happen for me. It was all state in football and everything, and
What position?
quarterback.
Wow.
And then I fell in love with hip hop. And when you get high off of something, and when it becomes your passion, when you're willing to do it without it, no matter if you got paid or not, you should find out how to monetize that. So I said I would need to intern somewhere. And again, this is after all the things that I've been through, and I'm opening up for all the big acts and everything. I wanted to go back in, press reset on my life, and learn the business of it, not just the art of it, but learn the business of it. And so I said, let me intern.
So where'd you intern?
Def Jam.
That's it. First job. The first internship was Def Jam.
First internship first internship was with NASA for engineering. But the first entertainment internship was with Def Jam.
What year?
91.
And in Baltimore?
In Baltimore.
You
So I was-
interned,
For Def Jam
but
in Baltimore.
what? There was an office
The
there?
promo?
or-
No, promo. I was the Mid-Atlantic. Well, I didn't have a title. I was an intern, but I interned for a guy named Kevin Mitchell for the Mid-Atlantic region of Def Jam
The
Records.
street team or the promotion?
Promotion. Now, and the funny story is Kevin was from Boston, so when the job opened up, he came to Baltimore and they told him I was his intern, and he didn't know me, I didn't know him. but he couldn't get into the radio station that my man was on, Frank Ski at that time. So I called
Frank Ski.
I called Frank and said, yo, my man is coming there. And so that was the time. And Kevin Mitchell, to this day, I always give praise to him. On a conference call, he said, my intern is the best promotion person that we've ever seen. And from 91, 93, it took me 2 years to get hired. 93, I got hired, and
they hired you first locally, or
locally.
so
Yep.
then you started doing
the Mid-Atlantic. He moved up to national, and I became the Mid-Atlantic regional manager.
and then
It was an office?
No office. Well, because we were signed to Sony back then, I would go to the Sony office in Greenbelt, Maryland, but really
I was about
the
to
office
say-
was your house.
I was about to say that's funny because by the time I got to college and started getting promo from the Mid-Atlantic Def Jam guys, and that's 97, you're already gone. You're already off to New York, right?
Yep.
In 97, that Sony Polygram building. There was a building
It was a Sony building.
in Greenbelt that I would go pick up records from.
Yes, absolutely.
There was an actual office.
I don't think that was that funny.
It wasn't. What I said was funny.
You said that's funny.
Wrong word choice. Sorry, Zach.